On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, Tokyo Revengers, episode 17, No Way, and episode 18, Open Fire. Well, I guess the series was tired of tiptoeing around the obvious and decides to hit us with that heaping spoonful of the truth. Brace yourselves for this shocker: the mastermind manipulating everything from behind the scenes, the ones pulling the string from the shadows, is in fact Kisaki Tetta. I mean, let's face it, at this point in the series, we all knew it. The hints were anything but subtle. We knew the who, we just didn't know how deep the rabbit hole went. I'll tell you how deep, straight to fucking hell. Like I said, literally everything that we've witnessed in the series thus far, a litany of atrocities going from rape to all-out murder, has been perpetrated by this motherfucker right here. And the truly terrifying aspect of all this is he never once got his hands dirty. This is like super villain level shit we're dealing with. But I really wasn't hit with the gravity of the situation until everything was laid out. Kisaki is a major player in almost every single event, starting with manipulating Osanai, which eventually led to a conflict between Mobius and Toman, originally resulting in the death of Dragon. But when his plans went awry, he was able to pivot on a dime, utilizing Pa's incarceration twofold, not only betraying Mobius, but also looking good in Mikey's eyes in the meantime. One can't help but to wonder, is this the moment where Kisaki's words poisoned Mikey and eventually led to the internal conflict between him and Dragon? Now with Osanai out, it's up to Kiyomasa to pull the proverbial trigger, but once again, Takamichi is there to stop Kisaki's plans. And thanks to our latest conversation with Death Row Draken, we now know even Hanma's proclamation is part of Kisaki's plan, as we found out that he is in fact Valhalla's secret leader. But there's still one thing that absolutely bugs me. We know the who, and we now know the what, but we still don't know the why. Draken could be right. It could be pure obsessive admiration towards Mikey, but why kill Hina and Takamichi in the original timeline? Remember, Akun admits to pushing Takamichi on the tracks in the original timeline. This is before he commits suicide. And we know in OG timeline, both Natsuo and Hina are also killed. Once again, giving that shocked expression on his face, seeing Takamichi at the Toman ceremony. Once again, I wonder if weaseling his way in is just another means to an end. I mean, with the invincible Mikey on your side, you can literally do anything. I mean, the kid's a fucking killer, literally. Once again, thanks to Death Row Draken giving us the scoop, we find out what really happens after the battle dubbed Bloody Halloween. It was Toman's first official loss. But more than that, something absolutely tragic happens, which sets Toman down a much darker path. Mikey is forced to kill Kazutora after Kazutora kills Baji. What the fuck? I mean, this battle is gearing up to be fucking gruesome. But this is it. This is the new penultimate battle. Everything has culminated to this point. Each time Takamichi alters the past, it's forcing Kisaki to alter his plans. And this is the results. But I gotta say, there's still hope. In this never-ending quest to save Toman and defeat Kisaki, Takamichi is not alone. At least if we're to believe Vice Captain of the 1st Division, Chifuyu Matsuno, Baji's right-hand man, and the one that took the absolute ass beating that got Baji into Valhalla in the first place. He, for one, believes that there's actually method to Baji's madness, that in fact he is infiltrating Valhalla to in turn investigate Kisaki. Of course, when confronted by himself and Takamichi, he completely dismisses the idea, but it definitely feels that there's more going on than meets the eye. I mean, the tears welling up in his eyes as he apologized to Mikey, they were anything but crocodile. In that moment, it looks like he was seeking forgiveness, but now, as a man, it looks more like atonement, a samurai with two masters, feeling guilt towards Mikey over the death of his older brother, meanwhile feeling obligated towards Kazutoro for taking the rap. Once again, that's if you believe there are deeper meanings to Baji's actions. Of course, with the future knowledge that Baji will die at the hands of Kazutoro, definitely adds credibility. So with Takamichi failing to bring Baji back to Toman, it looks like the fight is on. Of course, with stipulations, it looks like Mikey is is being Mikey, putting on a childish demeanor, decides to ask the most of Toman, that not only we win, but we bring Baji back home. A sentiment seemingly shared throughout all of Toman, as the gang rallies behind their commander. But once again, this seems to be part of Kisaki's plans, proclaiming this is exactly what he wanted. Haven't you taken enough, you little shit? But there's no sense putting the cart before the horse. The war with Kisaki is an ongoing one, but the battle with Valhalla must take precedence, and it's quite the spectacle, garnering a crowd filled to the brim with fellow delinquents. And what glorious irony we have. In the background plasters the words "safety first," an inside joke to those of us that know the bloodbath that's about to occur. This leaves me one question: can Takemichi once again change the past to alter the future? I guess only time will tell. Seriously, this series is so fucking good. It's so entertaining. The further we get into the series, the more complex it's becoming, featuring multi-dimensional characters with intertwined relationships, secret pasts, and hidden truths. All the meanwhile, one man struggling against fate itself. He's just gotta remember you're doing it for her. Like I said, I absolutely love this series. So with all that being said, and more Tokyo Revengers next week, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.